Okay, we're crooked. We're crooked.
So what should I do about
We're
these things
fixing the crooked, except making sure it doesn't fall over. This is like the best part of the video, guys. Don't worry.
I'm trying to keep myself from cutting these.
Just let them grow.
I'm just gonna
just keep pinning them. Your little bobby pin, just pin them up.
I need to invest
you could do just a little bit of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
roll it a little bit like this,
and then a little pin.
Stick a little bobby pin in it.
I like it. I'm gonna start doing that.
Where's the? Don't you have a bobby pin down here, Nicole?
Sadly, no.
Here, I can just.
Welcome to There's No Place Like Tara. The video section with a guest star.
Ta-da!
Say hi. Okay.
Hi.
Mom's back.
Mom is here.
So
clearly not my mommy. Although I will call her mom.
That's okay. I've adopted many of children.
Whenever Mom's in town, she gets to be a guest star.
Let's do this.
She was sad that we weren't further along in Atlantis to get some Ronin action.
Me too.
Well, you know, we did hear the local Mid-Florida convention, the con. Jason clearly knows that we weren't able to see him last year.
So he's coming back.
So he's come back just for us.
He's giving us a chance at redemption.
That's
so
that's good.
Guess who's not going on Friday this year?
No, we're gonna bite the bullet and go on the busiest day of the con and deal with crowds of people.
And be one of the, I'm sure there are others, but the handful of people who are dressed up in Stargate gear to see Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, there might be maybe one other that day.
I expect a larger turnout this year. I'm really hoping for it. I'm gonna find myself a pair of proper army pants, a black t-shirt, and go all out.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. We'll do SG1 and
Atlantis.
And it'll be good time.
It'll be great.
And how many people will be there in Aquaman?
Oh, lots of them.
Yeah. Lots.
And we were considering doing a girls only trip because now every time Jason Momoa is on TV, Jesse and I are rewatching Game of Thrones before the new season. And every time Jason Momoa comes on screen, he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to need you to simmer down. I'm going to need you to bring it down.
Sometimes Nick is like, look at me.
Eyes up here.
Me. Eyes over here.
So we need to be able to look at Jason Momoa all we want without any judgment.
And get hugs from Jason Momoa.
And although it would be really great to bring them along, because I don't know if you guys have seen, when Jason Momoa takes pictures with couples, he'll do this thing where he plays with the girl and then pushes the guy.
Yeah, he steals the girl. I was like,
I think I've seen those.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Sometimes.
Are we ready for the episode?
I am ready.
What number are we on?
159.
159. Okay, let me organize screens, because I didn't do it beforehand because I am dumb. Okay, ready? Ready? Welcome to There's No Place Like Tara, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast, and I forgot to say the number, which is 159. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace, and today we're going over Stargate SG1, Season 8, Episode 4. And we're going to let our guest, because we have a guest, give us our AKA. What's your AKA?
It's Feed Me, Seymour.
Yes! Guys, I'll let Nixie introduce our guest.
Whenever she's in town, our favorite special guest is Sue.
Yeah!
Yay!
AKA Mom.
Mom.
I have one other AKA.
Okay, what's your other AKA?
I read the news today. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
A day in the life.
Nice.
Of General Jack O'Neill.
I like that.
Well, a week, I guess.
So my other one, which I come up with later, was a little, his letters read a little bit, hello, Mudda. Hello, Mudda.
Actually, the thing, and I actually mentioned in my notes, whenever he does the voiceover, it's just MacGyver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you would have the narration over and he would read it like every episode of MacGyver as he's making his contraptions. Yeah. And he goes into the same tone.
Yes.
As when he was doing the voices of
Let's be realistic. Does he have another tone?
That's fair.
That's true.
Here's a one note.
I will say that his voice as Jack is slightly different than his voice as Angus.
Is it a little more sarcasm?
Maybe.
A little more grizzled? I mean, that only comes with age, I guess.
It does. We are today drinking.
Yes.
As you can hear us, hopefully you can't hear us slurp, but we are making a drink that we discovered while we were in Jamaica called a Dirty Banana that Nick has faithfully recreated. Yeah. Bartender Nick.
Bartender husband Nick, as I now like to refer to him.
We're just going to see how long the boys' names can get.
Uh-huh.
It is clearly banana and lots of rum and some coconut.
All of the rum?
All of the rum.
It's rum with a hint.
Can I tell you, my favorite is Nick's like, should I put a floater in it? And I'm like,
what does that even mean?
You,
That
you
sounds dirty.
pour more rum on top.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, it is before 11 a.m.
Here's my theory. I think he put a floater in it, and then we said no, and he goes, "Okay, I guess I'll just mix it in." That's what I imagine happened. But yeah, now he's now bartender husband Nick, since Jesse is now domestic partner Jesse.
Well, that was the easiest way for me to know what your boyfriend's name was. I just think, okay, Grace and boyfriend Jesse. Now it's Grace and domestic partner Jesse.
Yeah. So we're just gonna keep growing their titles like they're
I
old
personally
Spanish.
still like DP Jesse because it sounds like he's the director of photography.
But, he likes that too.
Yeah.
In fact, he mentioned that, and I was like, all right, fine.
DP Jesse.
DP Jesse, director of photography. Oh gosh, never put him in charge of that.
Don't.
He's the writer and the director.
Yeah.
That's where he goes.
That would be what he wants to do, however.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we ready for the episode?
Let's
Any
get in
other
here.
pre-episode?
I did want to say that although I do like your AKA,
Yes.
Sue and I have the same one.
No, that's fine. That can be the AKA.
So our majority is AKA.
Seymour.
Yeah, we actually both had the same AK.
Oh, mine's written first.
And Grace let me.
Oh,
Grace
yeah.
let me say it.
I mean, Feed Me Seymour is my first AKA. I just also had some Beatles in there as well.
Well, and then a couple others will come up, I'm sure, as we're going. And it's fitting that you have the Beatles because this week in school, which I like to give everybody my school
update this week in school.
We're covering Beatlemania because if you're doing the history of rock, you've got to cover Beatlemania.
You have to cover Beatlemania. That's basically required.
The best part of covering Beatlemania is you get to watch the clips of Brian Wilson just shocked as he talks about the Beatles, and he goes, "It just wasn't good." But everybody wanted more, and I love me some Brian Wilson, which I don't know that we've shared on the podcast, but he just
Your love
there.
of Brian Wilson.
Yeah, but he goes, it just wasn't good. Poor man.
Alrighty, July 23rd,
Yeah.
2004. It was written by Joe and Paul, directed by Will. A nice little trio we like.
Uh-huh.
So David Kaufman, who plays Gilmore, he's a voice actor who's done a fair amount of stuff. But my favorite credit among all of his voice acting is Marty McFly in the animated Back to the Future.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, that was back in the
voice.
time when everything had an animated.
He's also voiced Jimmy Olsen a number of times, which makes sense. If you can voice Marty McFly, you're going to also be able to voice Jimmy Olsen.
The same young
the
kid. Yeah.
It's the same.
I remember the time in the 90s where every TV show, every movie had the animated series.
Uh-huh.
I think I was a big fan of Beetlejuice.
That was a
the
good
animated
one.
series.
You know, they're making a Broadway show is opening.
Of course they are.
Of Beetlejuice.
Only if Michael Keaton's in it.
So the other fun, like more of a cameo in this episode is Pierre Bernard.
Okay.
So this is a deep cut. But there's one point where there is a not Walter in the gate room.
Yes.
That is, if you were an old school Conan O'Brien fan, that was the graphic designer on Conan O'Brien who had his Pierre Bernard's recliner of rage. And he'd come on his recliner and he'd be like old, crusty grandpa and stuff. And one of his things is he went off on SG1 about how the show was better without Daniel Jackson and how dare you brought him back.
I remember seeing that somewhere.
Yes.
Where did I see that?
It was on Conan O'Brien.
But I don't watch Conan O'Brien.
You probably would have saw it on YouTube or clips.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what brought that up.
Well,
they
may
recently saw it.
I don't know. But so the powers that be at Stargate saw this and then offered him a cameo.
You know where I saw it?
What?
Well, I saw the whole bit with the cameo. Someone posted it on Facebook.
Oh, gotcha.
To your on your post, and then they posted it.
Oh,
I that now.
I'm going to.
So
I'm still, guys. I love you all to death. I'm still catching up on like personal emails, let alone the podcast emails, and I'll get updated on Facebook and Patreon and everything really soon.
And surely we're trudging through it. It's gonna be fun.
But on the
Pierre Bernard's rage.
On the show, the character's name is O'Brien.
Yes.
He calls out O'Brien. And they also filmed some behind the scenes that was on Conan as well.
Nice.
So he shows up one other time in the show.
Oh, my straw died.
So before we get to the show, I just wanted to point out for those of you who are having fun with the Grace doesn't know the future of Stargate bit, last night, Mom and I and bartender Nick decided to watch some future episodes of Stargate. So we watched Prometheus Unbound.
What does that mean to me?
That means it's going to be one of Grace's favorite episodes.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
So we've watched a Prometheus episode.
Yes.
Not this one.
Not
Is
this
it related to?
I will not say anything further.
Okay.
We also watched Avalon Part 1. Another episode where Grace's brain is going to melt. So it was a kind of a really fun thing.
Avalon, like the knights in King
I will
Arthur?
not say anything more.
Okay.
We're not
Okay, fine.
putting what context the name is.
I'm just saying we've seen 2 episodes where Grace's brain is going to melt.
Prediction. There will be jousting. That's my
Jousting?
prediction. I'm just throwing things
They're
out
going
there.
to hook a joust to the Melp.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Melpy's going to joust.
Yes. And Daniel will be Maid Marian.
I want him to have the old cliche hats that no one actually wore.
yeah. I like it. Yes,
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
So previously on Stargate, Ball, as in Bocce, and all of Lost City.
Our good friend Ball.
And we're caught up. So we're 5 days away from 0 hour. And the elevator doors open, ready to start the day with a cup of coffee just for the general. Right in his face is Walter.
Nice little Aaron Sorkin walk and talk.
There's a lot of Aaron Sorkin walk and talks in this one. One of these 2 is ready for the day more than the other.
Yeah.
And Walter runs through the day's schedule. It does include SG8 wanting to bring back an alien plant. Jack checks his coffee because it's
I feel like Walter's one of those
RDA.
people that wakes up naturally chipper.
I don't think
Like
Walter
he's an up
sleeps.
and at 'em kind of
He
guy.
sleeps like 3 hours a night.
Yeah, he's just kind of always up and at 'em.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, I'll take coffee, but I'm already awake. Whereas some of us, who shall remain nameless,
Nameless.
yeah,
Require coffee before we can function.
be people. Yeah, before we can even be human. Yeah, at home we've implemented a rule with domestic partner Jesse where it's like you don't ask difficult questions before I've had coffee.
You don't ask any
You
questions.
don't ask any
Yeah.
questions before coffee.
Yeah,
And they also get to look at Bunting today.
yeah, but yeah,
Also, he still
Sure.
has, let me count, all of the personal reviews to do.
What I really enjoy is when Walter's answering the questions before Jack gets a chance to ask them.
yeah,
And he gets really annoyed the fact that he can't even ask the questions.
yeah.
So they run into John Pryor, who we'll see more from later in the episode, where we don't really know why he's here yet, but somehow thinks that security is lacking here. And I just, again, a random thing to say that I love. Hammond was always prim and proper in his blues.
Yeah.
Jack's like, fuck that shit.
Jack's like, I'm the boss. I'm wearing jeans to work. Like he's that guy.
Yeah.
I wear what I want
Yeah,
when I'm
I'm
in
wearing
charge.
Hawaiian shirt Friday.
Every day. So there in Jack's office is a person that Jack does not know. Mark Gilmore. And he is not related to Lorelai.
I
and Laurie.
looked at the spelling and he does not have an E.
He does not have an E. It's Jack's new administrative aid. Did he order? No. Does he need? Yes.
Well, what an interesting, is this a demotion? What is it? You're an administrative assistant,
Oh,
but you were a CIA agent?
yeah, but you're now.
I guess this is a very top secret place.
It's a very top secret, and you're also you're to the general of
That's fair.
the entire program, and also, as we learn later, not actually there to be an administrative
Sure.
aide.
Yeah. That's very true.
He's been a CIA analyst for 8 years. He has top level clearance, and he was assigned by Hammond, which automatically makes him okay in Jack's book.
Yeah.
And if he's there to help Jack, he should really dive into the stack of. And Walter's like, no, you actually have to read those yourself.
Yeah. I mean, are any of us surprised that Jack's behind in his paperwork?
No,
This
Jack doesn't want to.
No.
Jack didn't do paperwork when he had to do mission
Jack didn't
reports.
even
Yeah.
know where his desk was. He
Yeah,
just did it
he
with
didn't know
food
he-
in his
He
face.
didn't know he had a desk.
His desk was the table in the commissary.
Yeah.
Where
And-
he ate Greek
Yeah.
Pie.
Jell-O.
I
Pie.
have to
Cake.
I relate to that because I have a desk and ask me what's sitting on my desk right now.
Everything.
It's just piles of things. and
Everything.
actual work gets done in front of the TV.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Exactly. So Walter leads Gilmore to his desk and he points out, and Gilmore's like, Jack's not really like other generals, is he? And Walter's like, Jack's not really like other
It's not your typical average
People.
guy. Yeah.
He's just unique. And without hesitation, as soon as Walter leaves the room, he picks up the work phone and calls someone saying he's in position and doesn't suspect a thing. And Grace's reaction
Bad
is
guy.
like, bad guy.
Immediate bad guy. This is a bad guy and we don't like him.
Well, here's an idea of why he's not actually a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Most now, and I was going to say most aren't stupid enough to talk on the work phone.
Are
It's
they
probably
though?
secure. And I was like, actually,
they
he
though?
probably is.
Yeah.
End credits.
Yeah.
So later, Jack is actually trying to help out with bunting, which seems below the leader of the SGC.
Why do we need bunting?
Because
But
the president's coming later.
do we think we've met this president? Do we think that would impress him, or I'm not like he'd be like, "Why did you guys spend time on bunting?"
it's standard procedure
And that's why,
Fair.
for the president to have his bunting
Yeah.
around his.
and I think it's one of those where
True.
that Jack thinks it's dumb.
Uh-huh.
President Hayes thinks it's dumb, but it just kind of has to happen
That's
anyway.
fair.
protocol states.
Yes.
And he's happy to move
Tradition.
on.
Tradition.
Tradition.
All right.
Okay.
There's too much rum in my
He's
banana.
happy to move on when Gilmore tells him that Hammond is on the phone, which we get to hear not actually from Hammond, just Jack's side. And he's like, listen, I try to say George, but every time I open my mouth, General comes out.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I have a professor who's like, just call me by my first name. I was like, no, thank you. No, that's not happening. We're already too close in age. Going in as a returning student to college, we're already too close in age for me to just call you Charles or Chuck. It's not happening.
Mr. Chuck.
Yeah.
So right after that, SG1, or I should say, like I almost said the rest of SG1, but it really just is SG1 now.
Yeah, I'm still uncomfortable with that, but fine.
Is waiting with Gilmore in the briefing room, just chilling. They've been waiting there a while, watching time pass,
Yeah.
paint dry, grass grow. And Jack points out Daniel's snippiness when he snarks it up.
Well, someone's got to do the snarking if Jack's not on the team anymore.
It's not going to be Sam.
No, it's not gonna. And it's definitely not gonna be Teal. So someone's gonna take on the snark mantle.
Just warning, Daniel takes it on and runs with it.
He's been waiting for this moment to shine.
I've been training.
Uh-huh.
I have learned from the master.
Meanwhile, I still don't like Teal's hair, and I know that it's not going anywhere.
It's not going
You've
anywhere.
made it clear, but every episode, I'm gonna remind us that I don't like Teal's hair.
Until one day you don't. So the next time they have a gate address, and if it's a former Anubis planet, they don't really like Ball doesn't know about it yet. Don't know if it's full of weapony goodness or not. So naturally they want to go explore, but the next time they can go through the gate is 8 a.m. tomorrow, and Sam's like, tomorrow? We're fucking SG1. We didn't even get to go through the gate whenever we want.
She's getting all pouty McPout pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's in charge.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? You never followed protocol. Who is this?
Yeah, I'm
person?
going right now. Bye. I'm gonna grab a burrito out of the commissary and eat it on the road.
But Jack's like, I have 14 teams already off planet, and Jack also wants SG3 to cover SG1's back.
Also, is that usual? That's a lot of teams to have out there.
Well, here's the thing is, we don't really know, I don't think at this point, how many teams, but there's a shit ton of teams right now.
Right. It just sounds like a lot of people to track.
It is.
Like, I wonder if Hammond was not one to send that many out all at once, but Jack's like, yeah, push them all out.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't-
Jack's not keeping track of them.
And now there's somebody behind him saying, probably Walter,
Yeah.
hey, you've got these many teams out
You
here.
should probably come
should
back.
maybe make sure we have some here,
Yeah.
just in case we have a problem and we need to have backup.
He hasn't quite figured out the flow of like, don't put all your stuff out at once.
Every now and then, the next time somebody goes to try to attack the base, we might want to have somebody here.
To help defend it? Who knows? Maybe just a thought.
He's like, look, you can wait one more day. Nothing is that pressing. And can we talk about the 2004 Palm Pilot that Gilmore has? I don't think Blackberries were out yet.
What year? 2004?
Yeah.
I think they were starting to exist.
But yeah,
But Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot, yeah.
I had
I
multiple
know.
versions of Palm Pilot.
I know you did. Because then I got your old one.
Yeah.
And I pretended like I had a life to track in them.
Which
Remember when I got the really cool Sony one that flipped up and actually had a keyboard?
Mhm.
That was actually really cool. I still have that at home somewhere.
That was my favorite thing is when I got your old Palm Pilot and in high school pretended like I had a life to keep track of in a Palm Pilot.
We tried to get my dad one, and I think I get this from my dad, but he was like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I have my notebook, and this is what I will use. To this day, he's like, this is my daily calendar planner. I like the way it works. I am not changing it.
Well, here's the thing. I am about as like tech fiend as you can possibly imagine. My daily planner notes has to be on paper.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it does not function.
Yeah.
No, I've been digital for a long time.
I know. I keep trying it. I keep trying different to-do apps and stuff like this, and they just don't think. I have to write.
My dad's work notes. He's like, because then I can look at this year, and then I can look at the last year and see where we are relatively. I'm like, I don't care that
I was
much.
like, you can actually do that in digital too.
Yeah, you can search on your calendar. But
Right.
it's just, if I need to remember a to-do, I don't use a to-do list. I just schedule something on a calendar.
There you go. Yeah.
And I get my little reminder, and we have joint iTunes accounts.
Oh yeah.
So when I get the reminder, your dad sees it. I get really pissed off when he acknowledges it and closes it, and I miss it.
I need it. Yeah.
It's like, will you just leave it alone? He said, well, it keeps coming up. I just need to get rid of it.
And thankfully, an incoming wormhole alarm goes off just then. So it's SG5. Gilmore fills Jack in, and the representatives from Amara to discuss the pending trade agreement. So while Jack would love to stay and chat, Judy calls. Daniel tries saying how time is of an essence and we don't know when Paul will discover it, and Jack's just already gone. He goes, one more goddamn day, Daniel.
Yeah. And also, does Daniel's jacket does Daniel's jacket keep getting bigger? Like, is he shrinking? Because every time he puts one on, it seems like it's slightly too big. Does he
keep wearing Jack's old ones now?
Yeah.
He's wearing a bigger jacket to make up for the compensate for his larger arms.
Yeah, his arms have to fit in there.
He's assuming that he's going to continue to work out and they're going to continue to get bigger.
Keep growing. Yeah. He thinks they're like goldfish.
Yeah.
Like you just got to give them bigger space to live in.
Yeah. So we see the Amarans come through the gate as Daniel and Teal'c watch. And if you want to know how bad these negotiations are, Daniel doesn't even want to be a part of them.
Yikes. Yeah.
So sometime after that, Jack is down with Dr. Lee. Him and Bill are looking through a magnifying glass at the little tiny baby Groot. I mean, Seymour. Yeah. I mean, plants.
I do love this shot. The magnifying shot. I'm considering it a tribute to Rick Moranis, since there are a lot of actors.
Oh, very much so.
It's the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids look through the magnifying glass.
So 20 minutes ago, this thing was a seed.
Oh, yeah.
And Gilmore's like, should we be bringing this shit through the gate to planet Earth?
I feel like Gilmore should be like, hey, look, I've watched Doctor Who in the past, and this thing's going to eat us.
It's going to eat us.
So we should probably kill it now.
And Jack's like, it's a plant. Like, we're fine. Besides, Bill goes on, they have protocols off-world about bringing stuff back. And, I mean, I know, like, we want to get weapons and defend Earth and all that, but wouldn't it be really, really cool if we were also able to, like, cure a disease and, like, solve world hunger and shit? And Jack's like, it's a plant. And I love how Jack knows he's supposed to probably be somewhere, but his hunger calls right at the right time.
You know, you can't do any good thinking if you don't have something good in your stomach to fuel your brain.
Exactly. And the phone calling Bill to look for Jack. So meanwhile, in Sam's lab, the boys come to see if she wants lunch.
Yeah, she's pouting a little bit.
She's fine. She's not sulking.
Yes, she is.
Except she is.
Well, she knows that sending backup has nothing to do with Jack not trusting her to be a team leader and in command. Jack's just being cautious. My question is there a little part in the back of Jack's mind, subconsciously, that's like, yeah, I'm going to just make sure SG3 is there because it's Sam. In a little bit of a completely unconscious protection of Sam because it's Sam.
I think it would be more because it's Sam than
not trusting
Sam's leadership.
Yeah, it's kind of like if he can't be there to protect her,
yes.
then he's got to send a team of 4 guys.
Exactly.
It's not me. It's gotta be. But I find it interesting she's sulking because, Jack was in charge of SG1.
Yeah.
He could go anywhere he wanted,
That's
whenever he
true.
wants. I have to have extra
I have to have
support.
babysitters.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of resentment there, I'm sure. What do we think she's actually doing on the laptop?
Oh, she's looking for vacation spots. I
She's
don't know.
like on Pinterest.
Yeah, she's typing up how pissed she is.
yeah.
So I think it's the Aubrey part of her brain is like doesn't believe that she's not good enough to be like the Aubrey part of her brain is going, you're not good enough to be in command. That's why I'm
Her
sending things.
insecurities are definitely coming.
We should explain the Aubrey brain.
Yes.
So because
non-UNE people.
this is a code that Grace and I have used since first season of Legion.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza is amazing, and she's a kindred spirit, and we wish we were as badass as Aubrey Plaza. And her character in Legion.
Yes, I'm gonna have to look up what the bad guy is.
Yeah, but if you've seen Legion, spoiler, Aubrey Plaza plays this amazing, the worst possible voice in your head that just sits in the back of your head and says all the worst things and just kind of seeds itself into the back of your brain, and you slowly start believing it. So we call that unconscious lizard part of your brain that's telling you all the horrible things, we call it the Aubrey brain.
Okay.
And then you have to tell the Aubrey brain to shut the fuck up and go home sometimes when it's telling you these things.
And you always have some sort of self-doubt. No matter what.
So that's why...
Unless you're Jack.
The Aubrey brain was killed long ago in Jack. But that's why we call it the Aubrey brain.
The Aubrey brain in Jack died of boredom while he was fishing in his lake.
It's like no such thing. Yeah, no such thing as insecurity. I'm trying to. I can't find the bad guy's name, but basically she plays this bad guy whose job is to be a parasite.
Yeah,
live in your brain, fill you with self-doubt, and then take over. Yeah. So that's what we call the part of your brain that feeds all the insecurity. So we're like, listen, Aubrey brain, if you name it, you can tell it to stop and to go away. And so you're like, you are not me. You don't get to tell me how to feel.
Right. So
Sam's
Aubrey brain is talking pretty loudly, and Sam is like, no, I'm fine. I'm a badass commander.
Yeah. Get out of here, Aubrey brain.
So outside the briefing room, Major Davis is like, oh, help me, Obi-Wan
Maybe
Kenobi.
she called it her like gold brain.
No, I think that's a little too hard because she had a.
That's fair.
It was a tough grub, but still.
Sure.
The Armands, I forget what they call them. They can't agree on anything, and they're just bickering like children. So Jack figures they need a timeout.
Yeah.
So he heads in there. The Amorans are fighting over the plains of Goron, and it's like sacred to only one of them, and the other one takes offense at something, and the other one's like, offense, now that's an idea, and you see how we're leaving that a 10-foot pole away from the conversation? It's staying there, we're not touching it. So Jack walks in, and he's like, let's take a break. Come relax, some room service.
He's tricking them.
A massage. I mean, it's been an hour, it's a lot of work. And he leads the way to some beautiful VIP room. And it's not the Ritz, but they do what they can do.
Yeah.
And he's just goes to leave, knock twice when you're ready to speak as adults. And that's the plan. Just stick them in a room together.
I do. Let's take a minute to look at this room. There's a beautiful fruit basket of an entire pineapple.
Thank you. Not cut up.
It's not cut up, and there's no utensils to cut it up with. So here's what you've done. You've left these two alien people from another planet who probably never seen a pineapple.
Also hate each other.
But you left the pineapple here and you've told them to eat it. Like, let's just not even consider. Let's say they decide that they're hungry and they're going to get along. They're like, let's eat this thing.
Just bite into it.
They're just going to bite into a pineapple and burn their mouths.
Isn't that what you do with the fruit?
Yeah, you just shove. Well, I've seen them do this with other fruits. I've seen them do this with apple. Yeah, this is pineapple, therefore it is apple.
So it's safe to eat.
Yeah, super. Just go for it. Do we eat the green part first? Who knows? Let's give it a shot.
I actually just like the fact that Jack is probably the only person that would take two conflicting leaders and put them in timeout.
He might as well have put like those get along shirts on.
Yeah.
He just slams the door and locks it and gives the guard the key.
Maybe they'll get like some masking tape, like in the those 90s sitcoms, and
tape
split the room.
So Jack heads back to his office. He's clearly wiped already. It's probably 10 a.m. Feeling like he's over his head, wondering what he's got himself into, and he starts writing a letter on his piled up desk. Hello, Father. To dear General Hannon, wish you were here, and I was not. And the phone rings, and yeah, this is again the voiceover is straight from MacGyver.
Yeah.
4 days until 0 hour. This time out of the elevator, it's Gilmore, and Jack almost tries to run. The Amorans are furious. Jack's like, "Did you give him donuts?"
Yeah.
Makes everything better. I volunteer for donuts.
Yes.
Cake.
Yeah. Cake.
Jack likes his cake.
Look, that's the problem is you gave them the healthy fruit basket. You didn't give them
No,
the
cake.
pastry basket.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Or the salami basket.
Yes.
Salami always goes over well.
Salami basket.
Salami and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Where's my coffee? You greeted me at the elevator and you expect me to do things, but you've never given me coffee."
Neat things.
Dr. Lee wants to talk about that plant. SG1 and 3 are ready to head out. They can't get red bunting, and Jack's like, "I'm already tired."
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah.
In the gate room, it's almost heartbreaking to see the team leave without him.
Yeah.
But Daniel has his action do-rag and ready to go.
Yeah.
It's business as usual for the rest of the team. Daniel can't even wait to go. He's getting out the door.
Oh yeah, he's got.
Well,
unlike Sam, he doesn't have those insecurities.
Yeah.
Well, and it's new discovery.
Oh,
New
yeah.
shiny objects are out there, and I gotta
Exactly.
find the new shiny objects.
Yeah, gotta find the pretty things. Yeah.
So once we get through the gate, it seems that while Reynolds never seemed to question Jack, he immediately tries to pull his weight with Sam.
Yeah.
And I think it's a delicate balance here because Reynolds has been a colonel for longer.
Mhm.
Like in terms of rank and seniority, he's more weight, but she's leader of SG1.
And that means she's in charge of
Yes.
The top team.
all of
Yes.
the other teams when they're out together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is true though. I mean, I can see where he's coming from. He's like, I've been doing this longer.
Yeah.
I've been a leader longer. And he granted, SG1's been around longer, so she does have more experience out in the field, but
Yes.
not as the commander, as the
Yeah.
leader. Yeah. Absolutely, that's got to be weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's a weird, delicate balance.
But a good leader knows when to take a step back.
But she's SG1. She's like, it's simple recon. You guys have a gate.
Yeah. Bye.
So down in Dr. Lee's lab, Siler's already hacking at the plant with a machete, and it's taken over everything.
Yeah.
Everything in the lab. Good news is it hasn't eaten anyone.
I mean, at this point, considering what we've dealt with, I would agree.
Exactly. And
It's
apparently
like no one's cats are missing, no one's dogs, all small animals are accounted for. All right,
all
we're
those
okay.
small animals down at the SGC.
Yeah, so many hidden pets. You know there are contraband pets down there. I'm certain. If you're,
Where do you take them to go potty?
I don't know. You teach them to use the toilet.
Or the little cat litter box.
Yeah.
And apparently this plant grows like crazy when it's shown any kind of light. But Bill isn't worried yet. He's still just marveling and laughing at it.
Yeah.
I like when Siler gets the
Oh yeah,
blow torch
we'll
out.
get
Yeah.
there. We'll get there. On the planet, there's signs that Jaffa had been here recently. Teal'c has a little wrist device that opens the magic door, and it's not working yet until magically it does, and they ring transport into the magic secret wonder base. So wherever they go right then, they aren't in radio contact anymore.
Yeah.
And right before Reynolds can go look for them, an Elkesh flies over, firing and low pass and
Bad
shooting
times. Bad
them.
times happening.
Bad things. Back on Earth, Jack gets word that SG1 has we've lost radio contact with them.
Now, here's another fun fact: is Jack's never been on this side
No.
of the shit hitting the fan.
No.
I like to think of it this way: I've always been the sick kid, right? Everyone's heard of all my fun ailments.
Yeah.
But I've never had to be the one to worry about them.
Yeah.
I'm on this side of the
Yes.
illness. So it's like people would be like, that must have been really hard for you or growing up. I'm like, no. My parents,
Yeah.
they're the ones get to sit and watch all
Yeah.
the shit go down.
I was just laying on the bed.
I was just laying on the
unconscious.
bed, hanging out, getting fed every couple of hours. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So Jack's getting to experience the parent, if you will.
Yeah.
Whereas before he was the kid that just got to fall off the playground
Yeah.
and then cry about it, and then mom and dad would fix it. So now he's got to be mom and dad who's going to fix it.
Yeah.
So that's got to be an interesting, on top of all the other crap that he doesn't want to deal with. Now he's got this added, like, God, can I just go play? I just want to be the one who's playing.
Yeah. And when he was on SG1 and they lost communication,
Yes.
he's busy doing whatever, going, oh yeah, well, and he didn't think about
Right.
who's back there worrying about him.
Exactly.
How hard this was
now
for
he's
Hammond.
got to be the
Yeah.
one. Yeah. And so Hammond's got to get this fun redemption. Where it's like, see now, see what I went through because of you. It's this great, like,
You get a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah.
Over the video chat, we learned it's been about 19 minutes since they lost contact with SG1, and Jack sends SG
19's a good number.
10 and 12.
Yikes.
So Lee is now starting to get a little worried.
Mhm.
Silas moved from machete to a flamethrower
I love it.
Why not? Why not?
in an enclosed space underground. It's really smart. And they've closed off an entire level, but they're pretty sure spores are already in the ventilation
We're already
shaft.
done for. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is outbreak now.
So Reynolds has come through the gate without SG1. Jack is pissed. He's like, you were supposed to watch their backs. And then Reynolds is like, well, it's kind of Sam's fault because she told us to wait and secure the gate.
Because of course it wouldn't be my fault.
Exactly. To be fair, it's no one's fault,
Yeah.
but unauthorized incoming wormhole. It is Hollow Ball. It's ball. It's ball. It's better than
It's better than that. It's good.
The guy we love to hate.
Yeah.
you're gonna love a ball. Everyone loves a ball. Ball from Malamo. So Jack's like, what do you want? And he claims he has SG1, and Ball wants Camulus in exchange for SG1.
Oh, I forgot about Cammy.
Send him to this gate address or he's going to kill the team.
Mhm.
Jack has one day to think about it. And Jack's like, Earth Day?
I do love
Mars
that
Day?
Jack asks these questions. No one ever asks these kind of questions.
Because a day's different on every planet.
Well,
Exactly.
especially any type of hostage negotiations, you need to ask the specifics.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, look, whose watch are we synchronizing? Are you
Exactly.
going atomic time? Like, are we going legit atomic time? What I don't know. Are you using your iPhone?
Yeah.
What are you using to tell me the time?
Exactly.
What time zone are you in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these things are important.
So 3 days
And then
till-
it's like 3 days from this moment,
Yeah.
or this moment, or this moment, or this one, or the when you first got here, because that's like a 20-minute window that
It
I can
is.
play with. Yeah.
Exactly. So 3 days till 0 hour. Gilmore has coffee for Jack at the elevator this time, and Jack quickly passes to Siler. No one has any intel on SG1, and Camulus is being transferred to the base as Jack ordered. In Jack's office, Reynolds emphasizes that even if this trade goes flawlessly, they can't open the iris just to let SG1 through, because that could be the whole point, is to get the iris open. And Reynolds does have some ideas of off-world planets to use.
Sure.
Jack doesn't even know if he's going to hand over Camulus. It's just a card that he's...
Yeah, I'm just looking at all my options,
Exactly.
studying all the options.
And I do like that Reynolds gives Gilmore a history lesson about what happened between Jack and Ball.
Yeah, hey, in case you were wondering why this matters.
Yeah.
They have a history, the two of them.
Mhm.
Also that no one on the space ever gives up on anyone else.
Mhm.
So Jack runs over the situation with Camulus.
Yeah, Camulus comes in looking like an extra from Con Air, who's also seen a couple of Greaser movies.
Yeah,
like,
he
he's
has.
like, oh, I like that hairstyle.
Yeah,
Let's start
for
doing
sure.
that.
Camulus won't say why Ball would want him. He has no idea. When he requested asylum, by the way, though, he didn't know he'd be treated like a prisoner. And Jack's like, what the fuck did you think would happen?
Yeah.
You put up at the actual Ritz?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Either way, if Jack turns Camulus over, he tells Jack, Ball's never gonna let your team go. Like it's not gonna be
He's
even exchange.
not
And Jack
probably
probably knows
wrong.
that.
Jack
Yeah.
knows that.
Yeah.
So Jack and some other SFs leave Camulus through the hallways to the gate room, and Gilmore he's like, you can't just do this. Like this goes. We have protocol about prisoner exchanges, and you can't do this. Jack's like, look, I'm not exchanging prisoners. I'm ungranting him asylum. Is all.
Yeah.
Just kicking him off the
No,
planet.
just a tiny little loophole that I found here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jack really, if he gets SG1 back, he doesn't care if he gets court-martialed.
Right.
Because, then I would go back to SG1.
Exactly.
Ta-
So Gilmore and Walter watch
the
control
world's
room.
coming up, Jack.
Coming up. Oh, and I can't work.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I can't make that one work. Jack walks Camulus up to the event horizon, gives him one more chance. Camulus is like, I'm not a coward. Jack's like, yeah, you are.
See, I have to say, I'm a little confused with this moment. What exactly is he hoping to get out of Camulus?
He's hoping that Camulus is so afraid of what will happen if Ball gets him that Camulus will basically give the info to Jack as to why Ball wants him.
I guess I was just very confident in Camulus's lack of fear, which is why it didn't make sense to me.
But what Jack's like, I don't think Jack
way of knowing that. Yeah,
thought it was going to work either. But he's like, this loses me nothing to do.
His Con Air look and the greaser hair are convincing. What can I say?
But yeah, it didn't work. It was worth a try, and Jack just sends Camulus back to his cell. Kilmore's like, I can't believe he just bluffed that. Yeah. And Walter's like, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
I can believe it.
Yeah, clearly you should never play poker with this man.
Oh, never play poker with Jack.
No.
In the hall, or Teal'c.
Teal'c is like, there's never reading anything, ever, at all.
In the hallway.
Teal'c, though, I think, is such a order Muppet, if you will, that he'll just fold any not good hand.
Exactly.
Whereas with Jack, you're like, I don't know what's coming. He might bet it all on a bluff. Like,
he's going to.
Yeah. And win.
Yeah. Knowing Jack, he's going to be the person who, we played poker during the Super Bowl, and I was knitting.
Which was the most exciting part of the Super Bowl.
It was. And at some point, I'm not, shocker, the best poker player.
Duh.
And I can imagine Jack would have been like a couple times. I was like, okay, I'm ready to just knit now because
okay. I was gonna say, I suspect that you and I were doing the similar thing where we would bet really big in hopes of getting out of the game.
But knowing Jack's luck, he's like, I want to go fishing and then bet it all and then win.
Yeah,
on a bluff.
I may have done that 1 or 2 times and it backfired. And then the last time shocker, Nixie and I were the first ones out, mostly because we were like,
same hand.
I'm bored. You want to go do this now? All right, we're all in.
And then we gave Amanda all of our money.
Yeah, it helped that it was only the girls were left betting. We're like, look, if we lose, Amanda still wins. So we call it a win. The boys get to lose.
So Gilmore goes on about how he came to his job if Jack doesn't trust him. And Jack's like, I don't care. Not my problem is the elevator's door's shut.
Yeah.
He's like, Camulus would like to talk to you again.
Oh boy.
So Camulus knows that Ball will eventually get him if he stays here, either way. He's willing to leave Earth, and he'll tell Jack of a planet that has some ancient doohickey on it in exchange for less prison-like lodging.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what
maybe
the device
a fruit
is.
basket would be nice.
With a pineapple. He did, however, unfortunately, at one point brag about this location to the system lords. Smart.
Yeah. Good job, dude.
So Jack's writing to Hammond again. He knew it wasn't easy for Hammond, but if he knew what it was really like, he probably would have tried to be a little bit less of a pain in the ass.
Nah, maybe not.
Or at least tried harder.
I think he would have thought about being less of a pain in the ass. I don't know that he would have succeeded.
No, probably not.
Like, I think in his heart, the intention would have been there.
Right.
I don't know that it would have ever come through. Yeah.
So, unscheduled all-forward activation, it's SG3. So, Jack meets him in the gate room. They are checking out the planet that Camulus mentioned. There is a large ancient device about the size of a room. As to what it is, no goddamn idea.
We don't know because Daniel's not here to tell us.
He'll leave that to the tech guys. We'll also say them.
Yeah.
But Reynolds does know why it wouldn't turn on for him. In the briefing room, Reynolds has brought back the ZPM. And unlike the one they have down in Antarctica, this one isn't almost dead. This one has some life in it. And initial readings show at least 50% power.
Interesting.
Which is very good.
Interesting. And we do call it a ZPM because we're an SG1.
I'm still calling it a ZPM.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
The Americans versus the Canadians, but fine. Traitor to your country.
And with that, the lights go out. They turn green. And
he's from what I like to call South Canada.
But I like how as soon as the lights turn green, Lee's like, excuse me, and like leaves.
This is not gonna work for me, bye. Yeah.
The control room, everything is green, and Walter loses all power to everything. Jack's like, look, I know I paid the electricity bill.
Yeah.
Lee explains the plants are now in the walls, fucking with the power. And
Yikes.
funny thing, if any part of the plant's exposed to light, it just feeds the entire plant.
As a new homeowner, just the moment you say something is in the walls, my entire body just cringes. It's like, no, make it stop.
So he recommends emergency lighting until they can get the problem under control, because that way it limits the light. Jack's like, how long will that be? Hard to say.
Time.
They have to figure out how to get the plant under control first, and
Half past soon.
and I don't know how to do that yet. Also, I like that Bill keeps sneezing, so I'm sure he's allergic to it.
Oh yeah. Whatever he decided to grow is killing him now.
So Walter and Siler technobabble to Jack when he checks in, and Siler gets a lot of S's as usual. Oh, Dan Shay. And basically, people can dial in, but there is no dialing out, and there's no computer.
In this instance, the phone does not work in two ways.
No. So 2 days till 0 hour. This time, Jack is just sleeping right there on the base.
Sure.
And Gilmore wakes him after just 10 minutes because of an incoming wormhole. Ball wants to talk again.
Of course.
Deadline has passed, and Jack's like, yeah. We're having technical
We wanted
issues.
to call you. We just couldn't. Sorry. Bye.
Ball
Lines
just
were down.
Yeah.
Ball just assumes that Jack gives no shits about SG1.
Mhm.
He's like, no, actually, we can't. Literally what I said. We can't dial out, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why. And the irony is, if Sam was here, she would have had this fixed, but you have Sam, so
Yeah.
therefore.
How about just give us Sam and we'll call you? That'll work, right?
Jack yells up, like, no offense, Siler, because he can't figure it out. And Siler's like, why would I take offense?
No.
That woman is way smarter than I am.
Siler is like the coolest dude. He's like, meh.
No offense taken.
I know she's smarter
He
than
might
me.
as well have a sandwich and be like, meh, no worries.
So Jack's like, Red Rover, send Sam on over, and we'll get you old Camulus. Lickety split. He's like, you dare mock Ball? And Jack's like,
Yeah,
of course I dare mock you.
It's
You've met me, right? Remember that time you tortured me and I still mocked
come
you?
on, dude. Yeah.
But you killed me and brought me to life.
Yeah.
You killed me and brought me to life.
So Ball gives him one more day. One more day. Sorry, one day more. Anyway, Jack watches this with, or Gilmore watches this with like a dropped jaw going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Why are you doing
Should
this?
you be provoking him? Jack's like, I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is,
Why
I'm
not?
going to start living my life by that way. It's like, it's what I do.
So
Grace, why must you eat all of the food in the house while
'Cause-
sitting in your underwear watching Gilmore
because
Girls?
that's what I do.
It's what I do.
You knew that.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, exactly. And you still asked me to be here.
So back in Jack's office, Davis explains that they have had the formula for the gold poison from the Tok'ra for a few years now.
Mhm.
They've been modifying it and manufacturing it like crazy. And there's enough to neutralize like 3 Gould occupied planets. That's a lot. They built it for in case Earth is attacked again. But we could basically neutralize 3 Gould planets at this point. And they have no clue where SG1's being held. And also there's that slightly minor, major drawback of it also kills Jaffa.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
We basically just eradicate the whole planet
Yeah.
in hopes of getting back the team.
And they don't even know what planet.
Right.
And that's less of like a rescue plan and more on like,
Search and destroy.
full scale attack.
Yeah.
And odds are would also trigger an attack on Earth and kill tens of thousands on the planet. Also, but plus side is we do have a ZPM to power the chair. So also who on this base can function with this lighting? This dark lighting.
Apparently a lot of them do. Look, we just went
You
through
get used to it.
we went through something similar at work.
Yeah.
Where we all got these really nice lamps. And so the minute all of management goes home, every light in that room goes off
Oh yeah.
except the lamps. So some of us can function really well.
That's true.
under
I
the
never
light.
kept the overhead lights on at work.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
people
just-
need them. I don't
too bright.
understand. Yes.
Too
It's just
Agreed.
the weird, like, this is darker than that, and it's all green.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're all wearing their night vision goggles.
They
They all
are.
have some.
So now Camulus wants to speak with him again.
Mhm.
And basically, he's like, my intel was good. Why am I still here?
Because reasons.
So this time Lee's gone to Gilmore because he knows Jack hasn't slept in 2 days. And so gamma radiation kills the plants, also makes hulks.
Yeah.
And all non-essential personnel probably need to be evacuated.
Otherwise, we're going to make a lot of holes.
And then everyone else should be wearing suits. And that kind of has to happen now because the plants are kind of going crazy.
Because again, Hulk.
Yeah.
Also, I think I'm the Hulk now. I feel like he needs to keep repeating that until he's like, by the way, I actually did that.
By the way, you know Bruce Banner and how he was a doctor and really smart? I's Bruce Banner.
Yeah, ta-da!
You know, it might not be a bad idea when you're on another planet.
That's
and
true,
they're-
yeah.
and
Like-
they come at you, the ghouls, and having a Hulk by your
Like,
side might
could
not
you
be a bad idea.
imagine, like, but it's Bill Lee
But
and
that's,
Bruce Banner?
but that's what I mean, though. Bruce Banner was a non-assuming, quiet
It would have
scientist.
been amazing.
Feels like, quick, say something mean about my mom so I can get really angry. So I can show you this cool new thing I learned.
I just want to rip the clothes.
Yeah. It's like, rah, yeah.
So,
Wearing Velcro.
so later, Jack and John are in the radiation suits. And remember from the start of the episode, John Pryor?
Uh-huh.
He is on the president's team. And shocker, he's canceling the president's visit in a couple days. And he's surprised Jack can even joke at a time like this. Jack's like, what the fuck else should I be
What's my
doing?
other option?
Exactly.
There's no more
Because-
donuts to be eaten.
Because this is kind of a shit situation.
Uh-huh.
They did find us at PM, but otherwise this week has basically been the worst
Mhm.
ever. Back in his office, Jack continues to write his letter to Hammond. He's regretfully submitting his resignation. And to be clear, the regret is not about resigning, but the fact that he was deluded enough to think he possessed even one iota of the ability needed to fill Hammond's sizable and shiny shoes.
Yeah.
And the lights come on.
Thank
So
goodness.
even as saying I can't do this, he's still respecting him.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Gilmore pops his head in. Lee says the plant is gone and the dialing computer is back up. So-
Interesting.
Camulus walks through the hallways, not in handcuffs this time. Gilmore is surprised Jack is releasing him. Jack's like, look, I made a deal. I'm a man of my word.
Uh-huh.
The Earth got a ZPM, which, not only can power the chair, but also Gilmore mentions dial Pegasus again. Which would be a huge thing.
That would be big time.
So there's a phone call from, and Dr. Lee has something important enough that Jack stops the dialing out. And Camulus looks up,
Dun,
going,
dun, dun.
shit, I
I'm
was this
caught.
close.
I'm so caught.
The ZPM is glowing weird.
Uh-huh.
The gamma radiation is actually the main reason they found this.
Right.
So I like how this horrible thing
Thank
that happened on the
goodness for the
base
plant.
is the one thing that saved the solar system,
Yeah.
as we find out. It's booby trapped. They barely noticed this, and if they hadn't noticed it and they actually plugged it into the chair, the explosion would have been like bye Earth.
CBM goes kablooey.
Which is why Camulus wanted to leave Earth so badly.
Because he was
Knew
about to
this.
make it go kablooey.
Yeah. And Bill can't remove the booby trap. Sam might. You can ask her later. I don't know how to. Camulus naturally has no idea what they're talking about.
Sure.
And I mean, if Cammy couldn't have it, no one could have it, right?
Mhm.
That's why he fucked with the ZPM.
Mhm.
Yep.
So Jack has a proposition. You want to kill Ball?
Give him the kablooey.
So he goes, we're gonna give Ball the ancient device in exchange for SG1. And then the ancient device will blow up because you fucked with the ZPM.
Yeah.
So they take the exploding ZPM and Cammy and send them to another planet for the exchange with Ball. And Jack looks on as they leave. So sometime later, SG3 comes back and we wait. And there's no SG1.
And wait and wait and wait and wait.
There's no Cammy.
I do say I like Jack's ability to improvise here.
Yeah.
He's trying to use the subterfuge to his favor.
He's rolling pretty high.
Yeah.
He's rolling pretty high.
It's not quite worked out yet, but he's doing
It's getting
okay.
there. SG3 even waited an extra hour, and they knew it was a long shot that Ball would actually return SG1. But yeah, and you can tell just by the look on Jack's face, he is at the end of his rope. He is
like, how are you crying at Stargate? I'm like, do you not know me?
And the other part that breaks your heart is when Jack is changing into his civvies in the locker room, and he sees Daniel and Teal'c's lockers next to his.
Oh.
So can
I tell you how slow I was when I was watching this? I was like, why isn't Sam's locker here? Oh, got it. Boys locker room. Got it. It took me a second to understand.
To be fair, if you remember, really, really early on the series, it was just one locker
They
room. They
did
just
share a
couldn't
locker
go in
room.
at the same time. It was boys' time and girls' time. Now, thankfully, there's enough girls that they have their own.
Amen.
So in the hallway, Siler says goodnight. And I think Siler lives here, like Teal'c.
Yeah.
I don't think Siler has another place.
No, why would he?
No.
He likes it here. He genuinely likes it.
He
here.
does.
Yeah.
And the door.
Also, let's consider a Teal'c Siler bachelor pad when they finally do
God.
move out of the
Please.
SGC.
Oh my God.
There's always donuts and firepower.
They just torch their donuts for the little extra Christmas.
Yeah, and when they got nothing else to do, they just fire each other.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know.
And they would both be up for that. And the elevator doesn't even close before there's an off-world activation. So everyone starts running. Gilmore tells Jack that it's SG1's code. And by the time they get to the control room, they have Sam on the radio. And this is where O'Brien is too.
Yes.
They're under heavy fire and they need the iris open now. But Jack's like, I can't open the iris for you.
Right.
We have protocol. Like,
I'm surprised that he decides to go with protocol here. It is Jack. I can see him being like, opening it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to the planet, and they are under heavy fire, barely holding their ground. They can't head to the Alpha site or anything else because they can't get to the DHD to dial again. Jack's like, you've been in enemy hands. There's protocol. Daniel's like, what are you smoking?
Yeah. Can you not be full of garbage
We have not been captured by Ball. We've been trapped in a secret base, and we came out, and there's just Jafar everywhere, and there's no SG3 anymore, and I don't know what's going on.
The urgency she's speaking with is like, please let me in. I need to pee. Like, it's like, can we have this conversation later?
It's not as easy for the girls to use the trees.
So they have a time crunch because when the gate shuts, they won't be able to dial out again.
Yeah.
And Jack makes the calls to open the iris. SG1 runs through. A few blasts come through as well. They close the iris right behind him. Jack comes down to greet them. He's like, trapped in a secret base for days? Really? That's what happens? Yeah, he goes, the wrist device let us in to the secret base, but we couldn't get out.
Yeah.
And so, Ball's Jafar must have seen Reynolds and knew Ball was there, or Ball knew they were there, heard the radio chatter, and Ball rolled a nat 20 on a bluff check.
Yeah. Why not? He's going to play the same game that Jack did.
Exactly. But more importantly, Anubis didn't leave anything behind at school. So, all of that was for nothing.
Yeah.
So they're in the hallway. Sam is in her blues.
Mm-hmm.
And the hallways are in red, white, and blue. Bunting. Jack is on his way to...
Thank goodness they figured out the bunting.
I know.
I mean, look,
really
I know
worried.
there was a plant that was slowly going to take over the entire world, but bunting.
Bunting.
Gotta focus on
We do have
bunting.
priorities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is the president.
Yeah, it's true.
Jack finally finished Sam's evaluation. Gold stars all around. She's like, really? I was kind of starting to second guess things, leaving SG3 behind at the gate. He's like, pshaw.
I have to appreciate this from Sam. Sometimes you don't want just the great on your paper.
Yeah.
You want to know how to make it better.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to go say, be a little bit tough.
That's not what Jack's going to do ever, though.
No, but
it's not.
Sam's the kind that
I know.
always wants
Yes.
to learn.
Absolutely.
Jack's the person who's like, A+, moving on.
Yeah.
Do I have to write actually details on why you got an A+?
Yes.
Or can I just say you're great? That's
Yeah.
it. I don't want to exert any more energy
Yeah,
on
I'm
this
done.
one.
You made it. Why are you questioning things?
He was like, look, it was standard recon. Your tactics at the ambush were perfect. Teal'c and Daniel gushed about you. And she's like, oh, really? Can I read that? No.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah. She's like, somebody please evaluate me.
Teal'c did say she was an animal, though. And Jack is heading off to take off the clothes he prefers and puts on the clothes he abhors. And Sam read the report from Dr. Lee about the ZPM. And here's the thing. He miscalculated the explosive power of the ZPM. it wouldn't have just destroyed the Earth, it would have destroyed the solar system.
Oh, I mean, at least nobody would have felt a thing.
Exactly. Which means if we figured it out, that most likely Ball also is going to figure that out. So we just gave him a weapon that can destroy a solar system.
Cool. No problems there.
Yeah, Jack's like, pretty sure that's a good thing I didn't give him that one then, huh? I gave him the dead one. That was worthless, right?
Yeah.
That dead one?
We did this right? Okay,
that was
good.
fine? You weren't like holding that for something?
Yeah. Again, he bluffed
Hoping
the
to recharge
bluffers.
it.
Yeah.
He pulled the what's the Princess Bride moment with the poison cup?
Oh, yeah.
It's like he swapped it enough time where nobody knows what's going on anywhere.
Paul's going to be really pissed at Cammy.
Yeah.
So 0 hour. And Jack is Jesus Christ. Jack is spiffed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drink some more rum.
Let's do that.
Going over some paperwork. The president will be here momentarily. And Gilmore is going to be leaving tomorrow because he was actually on temporary assignment from the president.
Uh-huh.
It was like a civilian audit of Jack.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I knew. Hammond told me.
I love that Hammond's like, hey, heads up.
I'm not supposed to tell you
As
this.
a spy.
It's coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
Hayes just wanted to be sure that Jack was settled in and going to be actually competent at his job before he officially shook his hand and endorsed him. Which, he's coming, so Jack must have passed.
It makes sense, too, that the president we've met, this president, would do something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just need to check in on these guys. Make sure they're doing what they need to be doing. Make sure I like the way they work.
Yes.
If not, I'll just suddenly become too busy to make my shit happen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not, I don't doubt it at all.
No. And Gilmore wants to just personally say the week he's been here, how much respect not only he has for this base and everything that's done here, but for Jack as well, personally. And Jack's like, yeah. Oh, by the way, were the Marns ever let out of their room?
They're like,
Because I forgot about them.
yeah, they're like, it's been a week and they're just trapped in their peeing in the corners.
I kind of forgot about them. He's like, yeah, they're much more willing to negotiate, and they enjoyed the fruit basket, which is good because Jack put a lot of thought into that.
Totally. They're like, anything to get out of this room.
And you can't read much of the letter that Jack wrote. One paragraph above the one where he resigns. So something about big flaming things and paper cuts. But after all of that, and after the paragraph where he says he resigns, he just writes, never mind, and then signs it. The fact that he printed it out and signed it.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a Jack thing to do. Because at this point, he's like, I didn't waste my time writing this whole letter to not send it. How do I make this fun for me?
100% sending that to him.
He basically is just going to troll him.
But he
Yeah.
printed it and signed it and didn't send it as an email.
Yes, yeah.
So here's the thing that I see Jack doing.
Mhm.
Every week, he is going to write one of these
And
letters to
send
Hammond
it to Hammond.
and just continue to resign and then
Not.
take it back at the end
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah, just like a little weekly update of what's going on with the SGC. Yeah.
To Hammond, yeah.
I like this
I
idea.
resign. Nope,
Yeah.
not again.
Just kidding. I'm going to unresign. Just to keep, Hammond's heart
Exactly.
healthy, if you will.
I just got to say how awesome. The best dress uniforms.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Air Force.
Oh, the Navy has
Oh, yeah.
the best dress uniforms.
Navy.
Air Force.
They were Navy, and I meant Air Force because I was looking
Okay.
at the Navy
Just
in my
checking.
head. No.
Got it.
To be fair, Navy's not bad either.
No, Navy's not bad either. I like the dark ones, not the
Yeah,
winter
no.
ones, not the summer ones.
Makes sense.
I don't know. There's something about the whites.
Yeah, but I like the Air Force.
No, the Air Force is that Navy, that deep.
I'm just watching the Williams sisters volley here. Back and forth and tell me who's got the best uniform.
Well, she mentioned Navy, but she was talking about the color,
yeah.
not
Yeah,
the,
because I
not
was
the,
talking about the color, the navy
Got
of
it.
the thing.
not the service.
Got it. Got it.
Dress blues, man.
I mean, you could anything. If you're dressed up, you're already 10 points
Oh,
more
yeah.
handsome than you were before.
Tuxedos have a tendency to do
Oh,
that,
yeah.
too.
Those
We
help.
witnessed that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
definitely did.
Yeah, that's the thing we noticed.
So this was fun.
Okay, so we can finally start ranking these.
Yes.
So here's the thing, though, is we have season 8 of
Uh-huh.
SG1,
Yes.
and then we have season 1
Of Atlanta.
of SGA. Okay,
Excuse me.
so
Well, we've only got 3 episodes
We
in,
do.
right? In SG1. All
Yeah.
right, here we go, doing things on the fly because that's how.
I mean, my number one is definitely still what was the beginning of the season?
New Order.
Yes, New Order.
Yeah.
I blinked for a
Now,
second.
would you go part 1 or 2?
No, I'm gonna combine them.
Okay,
It's one episode.
got it.
And then after that, I actually prefer 0 Hour over Lockdown.
So, believe it or not, my list looks exactly the same.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Is that your
'Cause
list too, Mo?
What would you say? How would you rank the order of the first 3 episodes? Of
Yeah, I
season?
probably would go the same.
Yeah. Okay, Lockdown is fine, but 0 Hour is good.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more fun.
And
Yeah.
we'll get to S2 Atlantis next week when we cover the
Yes.
3rd episode.
Yeah.
Which leads us to next episode will be Atlantis 38 minutes, which guys, I'm just telling you, I really like 38 minutes.
That's a good episode.
38 minutes is a lot of fun.
Interesting.
It is.
Is it kind of like an episode of 24 where everything's happening in live action? Okay, don't tell me.
I say nothing.
Okay.
I mean, you
Do
know,
I get to see Shepard grin?
I actually do like me some Shepard.
I do like me some Shepard.
you see Shepard.
I like Shepard so much that I felt this weird guilt and I had to confess to domestic partner Jesse that I was like, there is a new character on Atlantis, and I very much love him.
And I love how his hair is never.
No,
organized.
yeah.
He just sort of has that little colic with the hair
Yeah.
sticking out.
And Joe Flanagan, you've stolen my heart.
Oh, listen, I knew that Joe Flanagan was gonna steal your heart when we started Stargate.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, California boy.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It does
Who
not
looks
take
like
much.
who literally looks like a puppy dog.
Yeah.
And him and Jason Momoa are very good friends still.
Yes.
Which
they
is
are.
really fun to see.
I know you sort of stalk his Instagram
A little bit.
so you notice the bromance that
Yeah.
is.
They do still stay in touch.
Because they're kind of like versions of the same person. They're both as chill surfer dudes.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm so ready. Okay, so next week Atlantis.
Yes.
For now, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you to our guest.
Thank you for having me.
Yay.
As always, you know where to find us on Twitter. We're at Terra Podcast.
On Facebook, where there's no place like Tara.
You can email us at there's no place like Terra @gmail.com.
And patreon.com/there's no place like Tara. And yes, I promise this week I will get around to catching up with everything. I know someone on Patreon had, I forget who it was. I've just blinked on your name. Had noticed that I know we're a month or 2 behind on podcards. We will be catching up. There may be a couple taped together in the future.
We are aware. Awareness is real.
Yeah, we are the end of this month. We should be caught up on podcards.
Oh yeah.
By the time you get to February ones, like I said, there might be a couple stuck together. We might try to fool the system and tape some postcards
Dun,
together
dun, dun, dun. That could be fun.
to get you everything.
It's like a hidden message
It's-
podcast.
It's podcardception.
Whoa. Special collector's edition.
There you go.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Okay, let's go watch more things and finish this rum-based awesomeness.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, this one first. This one first.
Okay, just
because
kidding.
you can edit the other one.